Well, good morning everyone and welcome back to Mr. Bravo's workshop. It is 5:30 on a Sunday morning. Back at the bench. Got a very good, very special one today. Very good, very special. We are about to unmask the ship. Okay, there is the ship, and in our last crazy episode, and it really was a very hard episode to do. We had plenty of failures in there, such as the paint spilling and other bits and pieces. Camera not working. Camera looks like it's working this morning though. So here we are, ready to unmask this. There it is on one side. Let's turn it around, check out the other. And there it is on the other side. Now, I will say, I may have gotten lucky here, I may not have. I forgot to put tape on this end. I don't know how I forgot that, to be honest. But I don't think I hit it. I was going to re-hit this again yesterday and decided it looks okay. I think I'm going to be happy with it anyway. I don't think I really... look, it might have just a smidge on it, but there's a line separating here, and I think it'll be just fine. So, let's get ready to unveil this ship, or the hull, really. The coffee's been flowing for more than an hour. I got a sister that lives in London, and she contacted me at 4:30 this morning, because I sent her over a present, a package, and she rang to tell me that she received it, so she was very happy about that. So, of course, that leaves me awake, and been awake for quite some time, so I've decided to get into this. So let's crack on with it. The question is, do I do it this close or this? That's kind of good for you. Let's start off with this close, and we'll see how it goes. Kind of a bit difficult with the camera there, but let's see how we go. This is one of the ones we put on there yesterday to cover the different ones, the couple different colours. Gonna have to zoom out, I think. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Actually really happy with the colours on this. I'm going to end up with a whole heap of paper over there. Let's take the next one off. I'm going to have to be careful anywhere near the top edge. I think the top edge we didn't sand enough on the very top edge. So it's going to be very careful there. Oh, look at that. That turned out fantastic. Check that out. Wow, that came up good. So what happened there is we had the white, the blue and the grey, and it's a very nice sharp line. Very happy with that. Let's come back to the front. Let's take that other layer off. I might use the clamp to help hold the ship. Yeah, that's a lot better. Let's take this one off. Remember, there should be another different colour up the front here. Let's separate those two. Let's do that. Can we take that one off as well? Let's try that. Yeah, that's working nicely. If I can get it off, let's just chop that off. Let's chop that roughly there. Thank you very much. And of course, that is actually the hull, the separator there. Let's take the next one off. How are we looking there? Kind of still looks a bit of a mess. Kind of looks like a big mess at the moment. But all of this will come and make sense very shortly. Let's take that colour off. Holy dooly dooly, look at that. That looks fantastic. That's the 3 colours there. Very happy with that. Can we take that piece off as well? Tape sticks very well to tape. Alright, let's take... What else is here? That's part of the original sticker. We don't want to touch any of these just yet. Remember, this is all about the camouflage, so let's take this piece off down here. Sorry about my hands in the way there. Being a little careful of this one. Is that the one piece? I think it is one piece. Let's take that off. Yeah, look at that. That is lovely. So this one here, we should get the 1, 2, 3 all in the one. There we go. That worked out rather well. Very happy with that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's continue moving on. So that's pretty much all the back half done. Let's continue on with this one. And that, remember that one sticker pretty much separated the whole camouflage on this ship. That was that big sticker there. Let's take that off. Let's get the tweezers out. And let's see how this all comes up. Can I come around this way? Oh, look at that. I'm looking at the camera and I'm looking at this colour here. They look slightly different to each other. But it is the right colour that I wanted. That looks pretty good. And here we'll see the magic happen all at once. I'm going to take it easy on this top edge, only because I have seen it peel in one other spot, and you get to see the camouflage coming off all in one piece. And then it should work out. Oh, I see why he did whatever he did. You need to know what I did. It's in the last few episodes. Down here, will this work? This blue down here, I do not know. Let's see how we go. Oh, look at that, that's amazing. Let's keep going nice and slow. There's no rush. And we spent a few days putting all this on. Look at that crisp line. Look at that. That turned out fantastic. Let's zoom in there just for 1 second. Do we need to zoom in? Yeah, we can zoom in just a little bit. Look at that. So what's left down here is the waterline, and we've kept just enough blue in there that when we put the red, which is kind of like a crimson red, this should look pretty good. I'm very happy with that overall look. It does. It came up fantastic. Not really too many leaks either. So a couple of spots I thought there was going to be. Sorry about that. Considering English is my first language, I'm not very good at it. So how are we going with the rest of it? Nice, crisp, sharp lines, which is exactly what the design was on the ship. We have a little bit of leaking down the back just here. We can clean that up with a brush, and even though this one here I did paint next to it, I'm still happy with it anyway. You can't really tell, mostly because there's white in between it. So that is one side. Let's zoom out a little more and have a look. Yeah, pretty happy with that. Check that out. I mean, for how many episodes now? 4 or 5 episodes to get the camouflage done. Tell me what you think about that. That does look rather impressive. It does. Okay, now let's do the other side. This is one side. And I don't think this was my favourite side, but I always pick one side over the other. Let's have a look at the other side and see how we went. Well, here we are on the other side. I was just thinking to myself, imagine if I got up this morning and did this unveiling and this video was not there. I would be very, very upset. For you guys, mainly. So let's start off with this one here. Let's take that off. Let's take that off, and let's be careful with this top edge as well. There's another piece off. How do you know which ones to take off? Well, probably the opposite to whatever layers you put them on. So the last one on is the first one off. Let's take that one off. Of course, being careful of that top edge. And being careful especially because I painted this yesterday and then stuck the stickers on to do that last colour of camouflage. And the last thing I want now is to take that colour off. Oh yeah, that worked out really well. You know, I was a bit worried about that colour when I first did that yesterday. Because we went against the grain. Not very often I do go against the grain, but I do it. And I think it was worth it. All that nose in that dark colour would not have worked. Let's take that off. It's peeling away from itself. Oh yeah. Yeah, see, that worked perfectly. Let's bring the plan out just for 1 second. Just before we go any further, I just want to show you that nose. Why the nose? It was only in the last episode that I probably even showed you how I did this. And, well, there it is on the illustrations. Now, let's have a look at it on the actual ship. And there it is on the actual ship, and of course that's our waterline, so we take that away and we get exactly, what we're after. So let's continue on. As I said, usually the last one on is the first one off. Let's clear this one out the way. Yeah, that worked out rather nice. Let's not grab all of that. Let's take that one that way. Yeah, happy with that. That was that very clear cut blue and grey. Very happy with that. There was an awful lot of work that went on down this section here. So let's continue on with that. We put this other line on just the other day to create that secondary line. Can I move out the way here a little bit? Let me just readjust. You will notice there's two lines on here very close to each other. The separation line in here is almost the same separation line up there. So if I'm correct, we should have this colour and two colours coming out of this along the bottom. So let's take this one off. Of course, being careful as well. We don't want to do all that work and then work out that it didn't work. Why was this colour on there? This tape? This tape was on there to hold the other colour underneath. I was not really overly happy the way that was stuck down, but I'm hoping when we move further along, it does do exactly what I want it to do. There's the other sticker underneath. This is where it separates it now. This is where it needed a good sharp line. And coming down. Yeah, look at that. That was probably the only thing I'd probably knock right here. That was probably a little bit sharp there. I would have liked that to be a bit more rounded off. But anyway, let's see how we go with this one. Remember, the plan was to put a double line here. Let's take this one off. Let's be careful. Oh yeah, check that out. That's already looking fantastic. Let's leave that there. Let's continue on this way. Did it do it all the way through? It did. Check that out. We did manage to achieve exactly what we set out to do. What else is going to come off here? Let's stay on the front section while we're there. Let's take that one off that top edge carefully. No, can't do it that way. Can we take it off that way? Let's move the ship over just a fraction. Got to be careful here. This one's been down a little bit longer, so they're a little bit harder to get off after a while. Oh, it's peeling up too. Look at that. Let's take that one up there. Being careful with the top. There. Take that one off. How's it looking so far? It's already not really making that much sense, and again, because this was our main sticker, we put a lot of stickers on this end. Let's take that one off. Why is that one on there? I don't know, can't remember. Let's take that one off. Let's get rid of that. Out of there. It's looking better. You're probably thinking it looks a little bit blockish though, and I would agree, it does look a little bit blockish. Now, if we did it correctly, this will work. If we didn't do it correctly, we're up to the last sticker, and we should end up with, I'll bring the plan out, all of this should come out in one hit. Okay, let's come over the top here. Let's grab this one there. Being careful of that top. I find that if you pull them back dead straight against themselves rather than pulling up, then you got less chance of pulling paint off. You're seeing it just as I am. Will it work? Let's rip through that one. Here we go. Continuing on. While it's working, I'm just going to roll with it. Oops. Grab another grab. Keep going, nice and slow. Oh, check that out. That's nice. Now, there is one piece there. It did rip. Let's see if we can take that off. Can I get that from here? Give me 1 second. Hopefully I've got that up enough now. That was that little tiny piece underneath, and the sticker did rip. It doesn't want to come off. There we go. How do we go? Looks good. There is a mark underneath, but that's on the tape from the underside. How's that look? It's not bad. I believe we achieved exactly what we're after. Let's go to the back now. Let's go to the very end section. Let's put the ship just there. Can we roll it over just a little bit more? No, that's it. Okay, now let's go to the back one. I'll come over the top and take that piece off. Of course, because it's on the edge, I want to take it easy. So far, I'm very happy with the way the camouflage has come out. Very happy with the colours too. So let's continue on. Oh, that's right, we put this one on yesterday to cover this one up. Yep, look at that. Very nice. Very good. Let's take that secondary one off that I did put on there. I put the second one on there because I wasn't happy with what was showing up the top here, and I didn't want to risk getting paint on it, so I put a secondary one on there. That's that one off. Yeah, check that out. Let's take the rear one off. Hopefully that one works. Oh, I panicked then. There was some paint that came up, but it was off the sticker, off the waterline sticker. Again, let's take it nice and easy. Why nice and easy? Because if you see it pulling up, you can stop it before it goes too crazy. Oh, look at that. That looks fantastic. Yeah, I wanted a straight line, but not really straight. And when I cut that out, I put some wiggles in it as I was cutting it. And that turned out fantastical. Okay, let's roll along. I do believe we only got one more left. How does that look? Probably still looks a bit confusing. It does. So if we take this one piece off, we should have our camouflage. This should be the last piece. We have it. Let's start it off slowly. Here we go. What's going on here? Yep, keep going. I'm going to try and keep my hands a bit more out of it. That'll hold the ship. That one that way. Let's pull the sticker back. That way. Now. So you're in the light. Oh, here we go. Here we go, here we go. Pulling that up. So, there is this side. Let's ignore the waterline though. That's just the camouflage right across. Let's have a good look at it. Yeah. Obviously, if we cover, you know, this side as well, that's our waterline. It does, it looks very good. Let's kind of have, let's take that off for now. So that's about 4 days, 5 days worth of work in one hit taken off to give us our camouflage. Let's roll that ship just up just a little bit for you guys. Can you get it in the whole view there? You can. What do you think? Do you like the way it turned out? Do you like the way I changed the colour at the front? I think that colour was perfect at the front. And why did I pick that? because mostly I found that these colours were a bit pastel-y. I know I've said this a couple of times, and I felt that that colour would go very well with that and that, which is the whole reason why I took the ship down there. So rather than guessing, I could work it out. So that's that side. Let's turn around and get the other side one more time. There is the other side. I've got to tell you, I think this is the side for me. Kind of got that speedy boat look to it. If this was on your speedboat, you'd be pretty happy with that. It's not too bad. And if you got a boat and you want to replicate it, well, you know how to do that too. So yeah. Anyway, that's the ship. There it is. There. We'll just roll it around a bit, just in case you didn't quite get the right angle. It does. It looks very good. I really like the colours. As you guys know, I like to build them like as if they were brand new, just off the dock. And yeah, I'm very happy with that. And hopefully that it all made sense, exactly how I did the camouflage with the light, and then the blue, and then this colour, and then finally the other colour. Let's turn it around one more time. Because, you know, this is the first time I'm seeing the ship for the first time too. You know, while I am pretty confident in what I'm doing, that doesn't mean to say they'll always work out, but I do believe this worked out rather well. And remember those two skinny lines here? They worked out pretty good too. Are they exactly the way that it should have been? No, but it's pretty close. I did achieve exactly what I wanted to do there. Yeah, this looks pretty good too. Let's get the picture out for a second and match it and see how well we went with the picture. Well, there's our illustrations just there, and in 1 second we'll go Shazam. What do you think? Pretty close? Hope so. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. We didn't actually do too much building today. We did, you know, the unveiling, of course. I think it looks pretty good. We're certainly moving along. What's next for this hull? Well, that's the camouflage. So the next episode we're going to cover most of this up, and we're going to have to work on the underside to paint the red to finish the hull off, and then it will sort of really come together. The whole ship's starting to come together now. You can see the theme of the way it's going. It does. It looks very, very good, and I'm very, very happy with that. It kind of came out exactly the way that the drawing is, and I don't have any issue with that at all. I'm enjoying doing this ship, and always I enjoy showing you as well, for anyone who wants to do this. And a big shout out to Oleg on this episode. Oleg also wanted a hand on how to do this, and yeah, so let's acknowledge that. There is the other side one more time. Oh yeah, check that out. That does. It looks very, very good. Yeah, it's got that kind of speedy look to it. I do like that. And I'm pretty happy with it. It does look like the illustrations, and this is why we went through and nutted every single one of them out. And because this ship does not come to scale, so we had to scale it out. There is a couple of blemishes. There's pretty much one blemish just here. I can just touch that out with a bit of white, and that'll fix that up with the brush. Not too bothered by that. And I find the paint's very, very hardy as well. So pretty happy with it. Anyway, like always, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I really enjoyed this episode from yesterday. That was terrible, that episode yesterday. And I'm glad to see all that my hard work has come through. Anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. And yeah, we'll continue on.